Windwood. Is it worth a buy? Let's read. Windward is an action-filled sandbox game that puts you in control of a ship sailing the high seas of a large procedurally generated world. So Windward is a procedurally generated sandbox trading combat game set in the good old days of yo-ho-ho and a bottle of piss, when everybody jumped on galleons and sailed to some faraway land, was greeted by some natives, we murdered them and stole their fucking country. That's the time that this is set in. And what great times they must have been, providing you were part of either the French, the British, the Dutch or the Spanish. Everybody else just got raped, but, you know, if you were part of one of them four factions, then you probably had a fucking great time. And pirates, if you imagine being a pirate, it must have been fucking amazing. Just being on a pirate ship and having no fucking flag down, just sailing along, and then you see a cargo ship, and then you just hoist the Jolly fucking Roger, and then you'd put the Jolly Roger up, and you'd just start, and they'd be shitting themselves, and you'd just be, get on with it. So, yeah. Windward is a strategy game, procedurally generated. Now, how it works is this. You actually can make your own map just by painting with a fucking brush. It's so easy. You don't have to be some kind of artist. It takes seconds. And then you just say, right, faction start there, faction 2 there, faction 3 there, and faction 4 there. Begin game. It is so easy. It is that easy, pretty much. And what you do is, the maps are divided into little zones. You all have a starting zone, which is piss easy, and in that starting zone, a procedurally generated map will form with little islands and little towns dotted around, and you trade from town to town. For example, as you dock with one town, that town may produce, say, I don't know, fur. So it produces fur, so fur is cheap. So you might buy some fur and take it to the other side of that zone where they don't produce fur, but they need some, so fur is expensive. And you sell it to them and you make a profit. It's very, very simple. Very similar to Elite Dangerous in that sense, only this is with ships, obviously. So you've got that bit going. There's also quests in every little port that you stop in. I mean, they might be getting hassled by a pirate, so they may say go and kill a pirate, so you just go off and kill a f***ing pirate. It might say build us a lighthouse, so you build them a lighthouse. It might say will you ferry some passengers from here over to there. Now you can do that as well, and also while you're doing that, you might be able to take cargo over there by simply looking to see what cargo is required at the port that you're heading to. And that's the good thing about this. You can see what each town needs just by mouse overing it, so you don't have to land there first, which is fantastic. So it saves a lot of time when you're trading, and makes trading very, very easy and very lucrative if you've got the cargo space and the money up front to buy all the materials. So as you go about your zone and you take the whole zone for your faction, AI ships start to spawn. They're your AI ships, your friends. They will greet you with some stupid comments as you're going past, which I kind of think spoils the game a bit, because a lot of them are just stupid, you know. And I would like it a bit more seriously. It doesn't take itself seriously in that sense, and I think that kind of... yeah. Oh, stop being a grumpy Mac. Also as well, what else spawns is pirates. Pirates will try and take over the zone. Now and then, you will suddenly see a bar appear at the top of the screen which shows who controls the most towns in that area, and you might get 4 or 5 pirate ships just coming charging in, and they will immediately go for your towns and lighthouses and guard towers and start capturing them. But to capture them, they just have to go into the vicinity of that and stay there for about a minute. A little capture bar goes round and then it becomes theirs, and then pirate ships will spawn from that town, so you have to get it back quick, and you get it back the same way they capture it. You sail into its vicinity and you recapture it, but obviously if there's a pirate nearby, he's not going to sit there and let you do that, and then a fight starts. And that's when this game really excels. The combat is fucking great. It's dead easy. You just broadside every volley fire. You get different abilities, you get different ships, you get different cannons, different cannonballs. You have a whole talent tree for offensive, defensive and diplomacy, so you can decide whether you're going to become a trader, whether you're going to become just a complete bastard. You can tailor it the way you want and build a very big powerful ship, but it all comes at a great cost of gold, so you have to do a lot of missions, questing and trading. I've played this for 11 hours so far, and I'm only onto the 3rd ship, and I've skipped 2 ships, I believe. It is a bit grindy. I think the first 2 hours is the worst, because you feel like you're getting nowhere, and then all of a sudden you start earning money, and the more money, it's like anything in life, the more money you earn, the more money you earn, if you know what I mean. So don't be put off if you come into this and you think, oh my goodness, it's going to take me years to get a ship. It doesn't. It just takes a few hours and then you're away. and it's so much fun after that because it looks absolutely gorgeous, this game. It really, really does. So anyway, moving on. As you conquer one zone, once you've got a zone and you've started to do a lot of quests, each town levels up. The more quests you do for a town, the higher level that town becomes. The higher level it becomes, the more money they give you for quests. And also the ships that they sell are better, so it's worth your while to level the towns up by questing. Once you've got the towns to a decent level, move on to a new zone. And as you go into a new zone, it gets a little bit harder. The pirates get a bit tougher, and then you do exactly the same thing, and another little zoney map appears with islands and towns, and you start questing there as well. Now this might sound boring until I tell you that there's 3 other factions doing this. They all have starter zones as well, and they're moving as well towards your zones. Everybody's moving towards the middle, conquering their zones, until eventually you all start coming into the same zone where you start fighting over the towns. And then you are in for a treat, because at that point all hell breaks loose. Not only have you got pirates trying to kill every but you've got the other 4 factions trying to kill each other or make alliances with each other. And then it just becomes chaotic. And then by the time you get there, you've got the huge ships. You're in galleons and frigates and all of that. Add to that multiplayer, co-op. Bring your friends in through Steam and just play co-op. They can bring their own fucking ship. I mean, it's just amazing. It's not as deep as Pirates because it doesn't have the sword fencing, but it's got everything else that Pirates had. The trading, the combat. The ships move a bit fast for me. They turn really fast, which is so unrealistic, but you know, you can't have everything. But it just looks bloody gorgeous, and it's one of them games you get lost in. You just literally get lost in. You can redesign your ship, you can change the colours of the sails, you can put your different logos on the sail, you can just do all sorts. It's so customizable, and the dev seems like a really nice person. He's listening to the fans and he's putting in what they want, and it's really, really good. And it launches this month. It's already been out for 6 months on Steam in early access, but the full release, I believe, is this month, and it is looking and playing great. It's $10.99 and I've sunk in 11.4 hours, and I can't wait to play it again. I played it all weekend essentially. My plan this weekend was to do 3 or 4 hours in it and then do this review. 11.4 hours I've done, and I'm only on to my 3rd zone out of about 30. There's also instances where you can launch an instance with your friends and only they can come in. There are trading instances and combat instances where you get bigger and better loot. There's so much more to this game, and it's constantly being updated. So there you go, that's Windwood. If this was made by one of the big publishers, it would be $34.99 or $39.99, but because it's made by a nobody, a little indie developer, you're getting a fabulous, polished, beautiful, well played game for $10.99. You can't do better than that. That's what this channel's about. It's about showing you these little gems that you probably have never heard of and bringing you some fabulous games. So here's one, Windward.